I forgot to plug in. Now I have to drive halfway across the state. The car's at 58%. We've got to go halfway across the state. Let's see how this goes. It's 12:24, getting a very late start today, but try to find some adventure. Jonah, you're ready to go. All right, let's roll. All right, we are on our way, and things are looking okay. We started out with 58%, and I plugged the new Marshall, Minnesota Supercharger into the navigation, and it decided we should go straight north to Bloomington for just a few minutes and then cut over after hitting that supercharger. Pretty much straight west out of the Twin Cities. Marshall is a little bit south, so my plan, and actually when I checked this on the app last night, it was saying we should go south, hit St. Peter for, said 8 minutes last night. Today it's saying 10 minutes, but just get a quick bump up there and then head out to Marshall through a more southerly route. So that's the way I started driving, and then the navigation said go to Bloomington, and I was like, well, we're just not going to do that, but that would be another option. Charge up quick here before you leave town, and then just do that whole drive all in one chunk. For us, it's good to break it up a little bit. We'll stop, grab a snack at the Hy-Vee in St. Peter, pick up my brother who's down this way. Right now it's estimating that we'll get to St. Peter at 34%, and then after charging 10 minutes there, we would get to Marshall with 20%. I think we're definitely safe. It's a beautiful day. It's 92 degrees outside. Haven't had a good chance to check the wind. I don't think it's too bad today at all. But we've got our road trip supplies. We've got water in the back, water in our bottles. We've got a cooler, our snack bag, and everything is just perfect for a fun summer adventure. And you can see the flag here. It was just billowing out a little bit more, but not much wind at all today. So that should be in our favor as well. We're just up for a beautiful sunny day drive. We'll catch you in St. Peter unless something exciting happens. We are in St. Peter at 33%. That's the info so far on the trip. Let's get plugged in. I guess we can watch this, but we've seen it 1,000 times. All right, ramping right up, 122 already. It's 152. So yeah, estimating 10 minutes. We're probably going to take longer than that, especially if I keep talking. Let's go. All right, as usual, that took a little longer, almost 20 minutes. So we have more than enough to continue our trip. We're at about 75% and need to get on the road. So 76% at 2:09, and it's saying we'll get to Marshall with 34% at 4 o'clock. So we got to get hammering. Okay, so that quick stop in St. Peter turned into almost 20 minutes, but we got plenty of charge, got up to 75%, plenty to get all the way to Marshall. Part of my intention of showing you, oh, I forgot to charge this morning, was that, you can make it up even on a big trip like this with just a 10-minute stop. And unfortunately, we couldn't actually do the 10-minute stop, but if you're an adult, running late for something, and needed to stop for gas, it wouldn't, by the time you got in and out, grabbed a snack or used the restroom, that can easily be 10 minutes. So it's not that much different. 10 minutes goes by in a blink of an eye. So not a real big slowdown. Now we are up just kind of on the country roads, enjoying the farm fields and the occasional lake we can almost see, and just headed straight west to Marshall on a route I've never been before. So nice to see new territory. We're enjoying the puffy clouds and pretty open roads here and just cruising. We'll see you in Marshall. It says we're about an hour and 24 minutes away, and we'll get there just after 4 p.m. We found Fort Ridgely State Park along the way and made a short detour. Most of it is foundations of the buildings that once made up the fort. Some interesting plaques describing the fort's role in the Dakota War of 1862, and there's a cemetery nearby, but not too much to interest Joan, so we looked around a bit and then headed out. Got here at 437 with 27%, 304 watt hours per mile so far on the whole trip. The current trip was 59 miles, 298 watt hours per mile. So pretty good, slow kind of country roads, but doing all right. We're going to plug in here, 12 stalls, and hopefully get some good speed. All right, charging here at the Hy-Vee. We did precondition for a little bit, but it's 91 degrees out, so probably didn't need much. We're at 229, 230. Looks like we peaked at 230, but we're at 28%. We're going to go in and use the restroom. We'll check out what's around the station. Hello and welcome to the Hy-Vee in Marshall, Minnesota. It is a 12-stall V3 supercharger that just went in a couple weeks ago. A great place in the middle of southwestern Minnesota to have extra charging for people coming through along country routes. It's in the parking lot of the Hy-Vee, which has a food court area, deli area, Starbucks and pharmacy built in. There's also a Perkins not too far away, a Dollar Tree, a Culver's a few blocks away, and other things up and down this road. One thing to note, if you're pulling in here from the east coming west, you're going to want to turn in between the Perkins and the Hy-Vee gas station and come into the parking lot that way. Our navigation got a little confused, sent us to the next entrance, but that's curved for the entrance and exits, so you can't get in that way coming from the east. From the west, you can just make that first turn and come right here to the superchargers. So pretty handy that way, but tricky the other way. The Hy-Vee is clean and seems well stocked. There's also a city park a couple blocks away that has restrooms. I'm sure the gas station here is probably 24 hours, so you could probably use restrooms in there if the main Hy-Vee building is closed. It's just a good stock charging spot. 12 stalls make it easy for people traveling around the summer. Apparently there's some lodging not too far down the road too, so there are options if you want to stay here. If you wanted to catch a few winks while sleeping at the charger or near the charger, that would probably be okay. This parking lot is exposed, but I'm sure at night it's not too busy. And there are a couple spots right near the chargers where you could pull off. So happy to have this one around. It's probably a 5 of 10, but given the circumstances of where this is, we'll bump it up to a 7. Do you like this stop? Yeah? Okay. Good to know. Finally finished recording. We got all the way up to 96%. It's 5:18. Let's unplug. Nice to have this new station here, and it's all good. Editing Brian here to share a little context. We got out of the Hy-Vee and back to the car in 21 minutes, and after navigating to our next park stop, then back to St. Peter, we got the notice that we had enough charge to continue at 5:04, or 25 minutes after arriving. I took the next 13 minutes to record the Supercharger review. That got us all that extra charge, but you'll see it saves us time later. I hope that makes some kind of sense. We're gonna hear a bump bump, right? As we go over the tracks. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So good experience there at the Hy-Vee. We're going to go a little bit north and toward Redwood Falls and go up to a place Jonah and I visited a couple years ago called Beaver Falls County Park. And it's kind of cool. Got some neat boulders, a nice little hiking trail. The river wasn't really flowing when we were there last time, but hopefully we'll see a little more water this time. And then after that, we'll head back south toward St. Peter, drop my brother off. Then that's an easy shot home. Plenty to get us back on our way. Didn't have much regen leaving town, but we drove around that city park. It would be a little walk from the Chargers, probably not worth walking over from the Chargers, but if you need a break, a playground, a little walk around some little ponds, might be a nice place to stop if you've got time to kill and you're in town. Is there anything else? I don't know. I was waiting for you to say cut. Alright, it is 6:33, 72%, still 86 degrees out, and we are at Beaver Falls County Park, and we're gonna hang out, trying to find the falls again, and be right back. No charging here, so just parking and letting it sit, but that's fine, we got plenty of charge to go. I realized as we were pulling in here that I should have just got a campsite here tonight, and we could have enjoyed it all night and into the morning. This is one of those places that's so out of the way that it's very quiet, especially when no one else is here. So very cool. We're gonna go hiking. We hiked up to the falls, but it was completely dry. After getting back to the car, we did go down to a campsite on the lower creek and played for a while there. It's 7:43. We're at 71%. We're just leaving after a nice little dip. Nice kind of sunset here in the valley. It's saying we'll get to St. Peter with 42% at 9 p.m. That would mean we don't need to stop. So let's hope that holds true and we can just keep rolling all the way home. We are on our way back east after leaving Beaver Falls. We've been on the road for a little while, just going down the country roads, enjoying the sun being behind us. Beautiful sunshine on all the crops. Although it's still sunset out here up on the hill and the plains, down in the valley it was getting pretty dim already. So Good time to take off. Hopefully it won't be too dark by the time we get home, but I think that ship has already sailed. Now, I did assume we'd have to stop in St. Peter again, but it's saying we're going to get there with 40%. So we're navigating there because that's the general direction we need to go anyway. But we're just going to bypass it, assuming that's correct, and we get there with that much. That's still plenty to get home. So it should be one more pit stop, then we'll go home. But despite forgetting to charge last night, hitting a couple chargers today, going this many miles has not been difficult at all and hasn't really slowed us down. Before I almost went.
Solar panels! Look, there's solar panels! Do you want to ruin your shot?
Because I was going to mention it.
Brian, look, solar panels!
Home at last with 14% at about 10:30 at night. Down to 79 degrees though, so that's good. Our full trip to Marshall and back, 340 miles, average of 299 watt-hours per mile. Pretty good. That last trip from Le Sueur here was just 48 miles, 297 watt-hours per mile. And since our last charge, which was Marshall, we skipped the one in St. Peter. Our last charge was 179 miles, 295 watt-hours per mile, and we used 53 kilowatts. So pretty good, nice weather. We also just passed 67,000 miles, and our lifetime average in the car is 307. So pretty good, happy with all that, and we'll wrap up in the studio. A pretty efficient day of driving, and that short St. Peter stop made up for forgetting to charge overnight. We did overcharge there, but that's reality. The Marshall Supercharger is a great addition to that part of the state and will help a lot of EV drivers going forward. But for us, that was a pretty long stop too, at 39 minutes, and could have been much shorter, 25 minutes, if I hadn't been recording. That probably would have had us doing another brief stop in St. Peter on the way home, but we had to stop near there for a restroom break anyway. Overall, that charging time for the day was pretty high at 57 minutes, but we all know that charging goes slower at the top end of the battery, and that's where we were while I was recording. So if we could have done 10 minutes in St. Peter, 25 minutes in Marshall, we probably could have used another 10 minutes in St. Peter on the way home, and that would have cut out about 12 minutes of charging and still got us home with probably around that same 14%. So there's more than one way to travel, even if you start your day low. Brandon Flash just did a great video about optimizing your route and planning your travel stops, and I'll link to that video down in the description below. If you enjoyed this, I'll be doing another run shortly to the Wilmer Supercharger that just opened up yesterday as I'm filming this, and we're going to be doing a little bit of range testing as we do that. So look forward to that. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Happy road tripping, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.